Hi, welcome to Rapid Football News. Today I'm talking about the England game, and we played USA. If you were watching, if you weren't watching and you're going to watch it, then I'd recommend you go and take a look at it and then come back and hear my thoughts on it. I'm going to break it down a little bit, and I have to be honest, it was disappointing for me. It was disappointing. We won the Iran game. Fairly convincingly. I know we got scored 6 goals, but even Iran managed to score 2 goals past us, and so they weren't entirely that bad. I think we flattered to deceive a little bit against Iran. I think that we managed to get the goals against them, and we managed to play well. But I think we did flatter to deceive, and I think that there were people, including myself, who talked about the selection of the squad pre-World Cup and players that should have been in it, players that were in it that perhaps shouldn't have been. And I think perhaps that was a bit telling in this game against the USA. USA were very well organised. They were very, they came forward, they pushed really hard, and there are going to be people who are saying, well, yes, USA played really well. They did play really well, but we didn't, and that's the different thing. If we'd have played really well, USA have played really well, and it ended up being a draw, then that's something you can say, well, that was just a really good game between two good teams. USA are a good team, but we weren't on that night. We just were not, and that's the problem that we're having at the moment. Because and it's not because of Harry Maguire. I mean, I did do a video on whether Harry Maguire was a mistake to take him with us. I think he had a really good game against USA. I thought he played well. He made some good interceptions. He was in the box, heading the ball away when he needed to be. I thought he had a good game, but other players didn't. I mean, I didn't see much of Raheem Sterling at all before he was substituted. Very rarely got on the ball. Very rarely did anything at all. Harry Kane, I think, spent more time in his own penalty area than he did in USA's. And that really isn't good enough when you think about it. When you think that, we should be competing with USA. We should be able to beat USA. Now, I'm not saying that's because USA are bad, but the talent that we've got on the field and on the bench, I think we should at least have got a goal against USA. I think that we just didn't play well enough. We weren't going forward enough. We weren't pace. The pace wasn't there. We were playing the ball across the back, trying to play it forward. The problem was USA were first to everything. Any stray ball, they were the first to it 99% of the time. Any ball in the air, they were getting to it first most of the time. And, they created more chances than we did. And their chances were actually good chances. A couple of times, I think on another night they would have scored goals. They would have scored perhaps a couple of goals against us on another night. It's only because of either Jordan Pickford or the crossbar or something like that, or they just clearly, or missed the shot. That's the only reason I think why they didn't score any goals, and I think it's a big shame because you expect more from England, and I'm not expecting England to win the World Cup. I don't think we're necessarily good enough to win the World Cup, but I think we were good enough to beat USA, and that is a big concern for me. I think that part of it has to lay with Gareth Southgate. The players that he took. He didn't play Phil Foden, and I know he said in the interview that he didn't think this was a game for him. But I think when you're in the second half and things aren't working, perhaps just put him on, see what happens. I mean, Grealish did have a bit. He did work quite hard when he came on. Marcus Rashford did what he could, but we didn't improve a huge amount when we made those substitutions. We didn't get any more of the ball. I don't think we didn't create any more chances than we would have done otherwise. And I just think that we weren't good enough on the night, and that's a big shame. And I know it's just one game, and we might well have. It might have just been a blip, and that we will come back stronger from this. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't think that we are. I don't think we're good enough in terms of how we're playing to get there. And we've got a game against Wales coming up, and Wales are going to want to beat England. I mean, if they're if there's they're going to want to salvage something from this World Cup, and they're going to want to beat England. They are, they're going to want to really take it to us. They've got nothing to lose. They're going to want to go for it, and we have to be on our game in order to ensure that we can beat Wales. I think we need to beat Wales. I really do. I think that points wise we might get through with a draw, But I think we need to win it for our own confidence and for, to send a message to the other teams in the World Cup that we are actually good. I think we need to be winning that game. But that's in the future. And right now, I think that maybe Gareth Southgate's job after the World Cup could be a little bit dodgy, especially if we. I'm sure we're going to get through the group stage, but maybe past that, I'm going to be a little bit concerned as to whether we'll get past the last 16. But we'll have to wait and see. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What did you think of the game? Do you agree with me that we're simply not good enough at the moment? And also, what do you think about Gareth Southgate? Do you think he should remain manager after the World Cup, or do you think that it's time to try something a little bit different? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments as always, and don't forget to subscribe for more football opinions.